So you own a home in Chicago. Well, 2026 is shaping up to be a year of huge opportunity. But, only if you've got the right playbook. Today, we're going to break down the data-driven strategies that'll help you maximize your home's value, from the smartest renovations all the way to the secrets of a quick, profitable sale. In a market as dynamic as Chicago's, having a clear plan is really the difference between just owning a house and strategically building wealth. So what's the first move? Well, it all starts with understanding the playing field. Local real estate strategist Ryan Hardy puts it perfectly. He says 2026 isn't about wild speculation. Instead, it's a market of balance where smart, informed decisions can really pay off. So let's look at the core numbers that are painting this picture. Okay, so here's our baseline. As of early 2026, the median home price in Chicago is holding strong at around $372,000. And that's not just some random number on a page, it's a sign of the market's incredible resilience. It shows that Chicago has managed to avoid those crazy volatile corrections we've seen in other big cities. But here's where the real story is: the trajectory. We're looking at a projected price growth of about 4 to 5%. Now, this isn't some frantic, overheated pace. It's healthy, steady appreciation. That's the sign of a market with real confidence and sustained demand. And here's the final piece of the market puzzle: affordability. Sure, mortgage rates around 6.1% are higher than those historic lows we remember, but, and this is key, they have eased up from the recent peaks. This creates some crucial breathing room for buyers, which in turn keeps the market active and balanced for sellers like you. All right, so with a stable market as our foundation, the next play is to actively increase your home's value. But listen, not all renovations are created equal. Let's dive into where to invest your money for the absolute highest return. This quote from Zonda's latest cost versus value report? This is basically the golden rule of our renovation playbook. The key takeaway is simple. First impressions really, really matter. Curb appeal isn't just a nice to have. It is a powerful financial strategy. And the data backs us up in a pretty surprising way. I mean, look at this. Garage door replacement, steel doors, stone veneer. 4 of the top 5 highest return projects are all on the outside of the home. Several of them more than double your investment. And the only interior project to even crack the top 5, a minor kitchen remodel. Kind of wild, right? Let's just put this into perspective for a second. The return on a new garage door is a staggering 267%. That's more than double the ROI of the best performing interior project. The takeaway is undeniable. If you're renovating to sell, you've got to start outside. But hey, let's be real. We all know kitchens sell homes, and they still give you a fantastic return. So let's bring this national data down to the neighborhood level with a real Chicago case study. Because let's face it, our city's amazing historic homes can present some unique challenges. So here's a typical cost breakdown for a mid-range kitchen remodel in a Chicago neighborhood, say like Lincoln Square. See how cabinetry and labor just eat up nearly 2/3 of the budget? Knowing this upfront gives you a realistic map of where your money's going to go, and it helps you budget so much more effectively. Now, this is where local knowledge becomes your superpower. In Chicago's vintage homes, what's hiding behind the walls can inflate your budget fast. Upgrading an old electrical panel, leveling a settled floor, these are really common and costly surprises. A 15 to 20% contingency fund isn't just a suggestion. For renovation in this city, it's an absolute necessity. But okay, it's not all scary surprises behind the walls. There is some fantastic news on the administrative front. The city has actually streamlined one of the biggest renovation headaches. The new Express Permit program dramatically cuts the wait time for approvals, meaning your project can get started weeks or even months sooner than it used to. And here's the best part. The process is incredibly simple if you use a licensed contractor. They handle the entire thing online. This is a huge incentive to work with a licensed pro who can access this faster, more efficient system and get your project off the ground without all those frustrating delays. Okay, the renovations are done. Your home is looking amazing. Now it's time for the final and maybe the most powerful play before you list. Let's talk about staging and the incredible financial leverage it gives you. So get this, according to the Real Estate Staging Association, the average sale-to-list price for a staged property was 109% in a recent competitive quarter. Just think about that for a second. That's not just selling at your asking price, that's consistently selling for significantly more. And it's not just about a higher price, it's about speed.
In that same period, staged homes were on the market for an average of just 9 days. That kind of speed means fewer headaches, less uncertainty, and a much, much stronger negotiating position for you as the seller. But this is the number that just blows my mind. A 4,415% average return on investment. Let me say that again, over 4,400%. It is hands down one of the highest leverage investments you can possibly make in the entire selling process. The data couldn't be clearer. Staging isn't an expense, it's a strategic investment that gets you a faster sale and higher offers. But it's more than that. It allows buyers to emotionally connect with the space and actually picture it as their future home. And that emotional connection is a powerful, powerful driver of value. So to round out our playbook, let's cover just a few final smart money moves. These are practical tips that can save you money and add value, whether you're planning to sell soon or stay put for years to come. Seriously, don't leave free money on the table. Nicor Gas offers some pretty significant rebates for energy efficiency upgrades. We're talking air sealing, insulation, new high-efficiency furnaces. These are smart investments that lower your utility bills and make your home more comfortable, with hundreds of dollars in rebates just waiting to offset the cost. And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? In a balanced, opportunity-driven market like Chicago's, success comes from strategy, not from speculation. By understanding the market, investing in those high-return projects, and mastering the art of presentation, you can make sure your home's financial performance is every bit as impressive as its address. The playbook is in your hands. Now it's time to make your move.